Hello. Welcome to the Gemara Shir Shabbos, Maseches Shabbos Shir, Torah Anytime. We are learning Maseches Shabbos, Daf Kuf Lamed Hey Omud Beis in the bottom of the page. The topic, Perik Rebelezer de Milah. The topic is Beris Milah on Shabbos. And from there, as the Gemara usually does, the Gemara diverts into other topics. And we're going to start a brisa now. Let's start reading a brisa about which baby is considered to be alive and which baby, although seemingly alive, is really halachically dead. So before we start the brisa here in Kuf Lamed Vav Amud Kuf Lamed Hey Amud Beis, we are in the fifth line from bottom of the page. Tanya B'Shem Gamliel Omer. Hi, Tanya. So we have to make a very short and clear introduction, which makes a very clear distinction between three types of babies regarding the how long their pregnancy was, which means if a baby was born in the ninth month, and we know it for sure 100% that 9 months passed the full pregnancy, then this baby is assumed to be alive. So it's mashma according to Rashi. Yeah, Rashi says, let's say we know that the mother had no relations since 9 months ago till now, or till the birth, and yeah. So then we say the baby clearly is 9 months old, meaning the pregnancy was full pregnancy, but then everything is well, everything is healthy, everything is nice, and gesundheit, very good. If we know that the baby was born on the eighth month, for sure, let's say we know that there are 8 months since the conception till the birth, a baby who's 8 months old, meaning born on the eighth month of the pregnancy, halacha views that baby as assumed to be dead. He may be alive and maybe blood can come out, as we'll see later, but technically, halachically speaking, he is considered to not be alive, to be dead. A baby born in the seventh month, surprisingly, has higher chances of survival. So, born in the seventh month of pregnancy would also be called alive. Now, the question is, what about all kinds of sfekos? Now, suffix number one: what happens if a baby is born and it's assumed to be regular birth on the ninth month, but we're not sure? We're not sure. Yeah, I don't know if we believe I don't know, medical profession. Yes, no. Yeah, but Lamaisa, we're not sure 100% if the baby is really from the eighth month or 9 months. So then we have to wait and see. As we're going to see now in the Gemara, such a baby is besofik, is in doubt until 30 days pass. Now, what happens to a baby that's for sure a premature baby? We just don't know if he was born in the seventh month or the eighth month. That's worse because we know he's premature, right? We just don't know how premature, how bad it is. And that will have a different halacha. So the Gemara, the opening shot of the Brisa talks about the regular baby, meaning we don't know 100% that he really spent complete 9 months over there in the womb. But on the other hand, he's not a premature baby. He's normal, but not 100% after a full pregnancy. Now it's time to start. Tanya says Gebraisa. Rab Shimon Gamliel Omer. Kol sheshov lamed yoim ba'odom einu nefel. Any baby that's been already around for 30 days alive, he lived through 30 days, he spent the first 30 days of his life and nothing happened. Eino nefel. After 30 days, we know for sure that this baby is not considered to be like a stillborn, like a dead baby, as we're going to explain. Shenemar, it says in the Torah, Upduyov miben chodesh tifne, a pidyon aben is on the 30th day for a reason, because only then we know that the baby is for sure going to live. What do you mean? Maybe there'll be a disease, maybe there'll be a car accident, chas v'sholem. However, the point is that if any baby, unless you know was 9 months in the womb, every baby is besophic. Maybe it's from the eighth month, right? And therefore, maybe he's going to die early. Once he spent 30 days, then we connect him, we allege him to the group of the good babies that spent an entire pregnancy. Yeah, once it's been 30 days around, yeah, it's not like he died soon after birth, then we assume, okay, time proved. Yeah, we're in Suffolk all the time. Yes, no, maybe so. So for the first 30 days, we don't know will he live or will he die, i.e., we don't know if he came out early or on time. Therefore, Ibn Chodesh Tifta is telling me once a month or 30 days to be exact, 30 days passed, then he's already called a for sure live baby, and we assume that everything was fine, and he is a baby that came from a full pregnancy. Shmoines yomim bebehema ein nefel. Same applies to behemoths. We're going to see after Nafkaminas about a behema that was born too early, could be considered like treifa, that will be discussed. In any event, a behema has a much, much shorter a time to prove itself. In a way, it's proven to be well and healthy and alive much quicker. Once the baby behema, the baby sheep, goat, cow, whatever, talk about kosher animals, 8 days pass, then we know that it's not a nefel. Then we know that we don't have to doubt it anymore. Shene'emar, there's no doubt after 8 days that it's alive for sure. It says, it says once an animal, a baby animal, has been under its mother for 7 days, yeah, 8 days. From the 8 days onwards, that behema is considered to be alive. Yeah? Okay. Beseder. So Tosa says that the eighth day of the Behema is like the after eighth day, yeah? Now on the eighth day you can already bring into Korban. Now, who cares about Behema? So apparently Behemoths also, if they're born premature, also it's the same situation. They're likely to die earlier. Premature Behemoths they also die early, but if 8 days passed, then we know that this behemoth is good and alive and kicking and is considered to be a live animal to all intentions and purposes. Now, the Gemara is medayek from the statement of Abshim Gamliel. Ha loisho sfeiko. Are you telling me that the first period of its life, if it did not shoho, if it did not stay alive for 8 days yet, or 30 days by human being? Let's focus now on human being. We're going to deal with both all the time. Right now, we're focusing on a Yiddish Yingele. So you're telling me that up until day 30, we don't know, die, live, daven, because why? Maybe it's really for the eighth month. Are you telling me that? If so, something does make sense. If so, mimhal hechim alinale. How can you do bris milah on Shabbos to a baby, a regular baby? He was born probably in the ninth month, but we're not sure. Maybe eighth month. So dead, live, I don't know. How can you do bris milah on Shabbos? Of course, you can do bris milah on the eighth day, gesundheit. But if the eighth day is Shabbos, and we all agree that the eighth day falls on Shabbos, you do the bris milah, right? Then mimal hechimal, meaning how can you do bris milah to such a baby? Why? If the baby, we're not a prophet, are you? If the baby will live, then great, you did bris milah to a baby that eventually will live. But if this baby is already considered dead, meaning if this baby really came the eighth month, this baby is dead meat. Excuse my words, yeah, not nice, but he's kilo dead. How can you do bris milah? You're not doing a mitzvah. You mechalel Shabbos, but drawing blood. The baby seems very alive, by the way. Physically speaking, the baby's screaming and kicking and has blood coming out of the bris milah. Yeah, but how do you draw blood on Shabbos? How do you let out blood on Shabbos? Maybe it's not a mitzvah. Because if this baby will not live and already is considered dead, 50% dead, right? Al that it's dead, you're taking out blood without performing a mitzvah. How can you do that? You can only be Mechal Shabbos by taking out blood if it's for the greater good of mitzvah. Maybe not Mikam a mitzvah. There's no mitzvah to mal a dead baby. Avada Barava answers the Gemara, no. Avada Barava comes with a big yisod. What's his yisod? Malin oisa mimanavshach. You do bris milah either way. What does it mean either way? You're never taking a risk. No, yeah, there are no chances taken. Why? Im chayhu shapir kamoil. If the baby is chai, if the baby will live, is alive and will live, bris milah, great, it's a mitzvah. If the baby is a 9 month baby, great, good. Givaldig, it's bris milah. V'im lav, what's your concern? Maybe it's halachically dead, and you stam, injuring, causing blood, right? Without mitzvah? No, it's nothing. There's no chilul Shabbos at all. Why? Mechatech babosahu. You're only cutting dead meat, which means, if this baby is dead, so to speak. It looks alive and it's screaming and there and kicking and sucking the whatever the pacifier. But Lamaisa, he's really halachically dead, right? Because he really came out of the stomach earlier, right? Such a baby is considered as dead. So drawing blood out of a dead body is not considered as Chilul Shabbos. You're cutting dead meat, exactly. Cutting, even though blood comes out, it's kilu, the blood is from a dead being, from a dead person. Blood from a dead person is not killing, meaning the chashash, the isser, according to Rashi, of drawing blood or causing wounds and blood coming out on Shabbos is because considered as what? Considered to be killing. Rashi learns it to told of shoichet, but that's not shoichet. You can't kill a dead person. And therefore, because this baby is considered as dead, blood coming out is garnished. Yeah, there's no Isser. So Mimanavshach, it's good if he's alive doing a mitzvah. And if he's not alive, you're doing nothing. You're not really injuring a live person, injuring a dead person, and that's fine. Okay? That's the yesod of Ravada Barava. Now, frag the Gemara, if so, if this is what Ravada Barava believes, that cutting into the baby that's not really alive is really not a problem at all. You're not even cutting halachically, you're not shechting because he's already shechted. Vela de Tanya, according to this, according to what you're telling me, Vela de Tanya, Sofik ben Shiva, Sofik ben Shmoino, Ein Mechal Nolav es Shabbos, right? The baby is Sofik ben Shiva, Sofik ben Shmoino. Oh, that's the other kind of baby we spoke about. It's clearly premature. It's much worse than the first baby. It's not a stam baby, which I assume is okay, but maybe no Sofik. This baby is a Sofik. He may be dead or alive, but his starting point is much worse. He's small, he's tiny, he's premature for sure. We don't know how premature. And again, ironically, if he came out in the 8th month, then he's not good. 7th month is good. So what do we say? En v'chalav es Shabbos. What does it mean? Don't perform bris milah on him on Shabbos. Why not? Because maybe what? Am I? Why shouldn't you do bris milah on Shabbos? What's your big concern? It's the same suffix exactly at the end of the day. Why? Let's look at the Gemara. Nimale mimanavshach. Why don't you do bris milah on Shabbos? Mimanavshach. Im chayhu. A baby born in the 7th month is alive. He's assumed yes to be alive. He'll get over the hurdle of the 8th month, as we explained, and will live and will be okay. He'll develop his systems later. Im chayhu shapir kamohil. If he's going to be alive, then the milah is great. He is alive, will be alive. He's okay from the 7th month. You're doing the mitzvah bris milah. V'imlav mechatech v'basahu. And if he's an 8th month baby, yeah, which will not live and is already dead, great. I mean, not great. I feel bad for the parents, but there's no halachic issue at all. Because even though blood is coming out, it's as if you draw blood out of a dead person. Because the 8th month baby is considered completely dead. We said the mother just feeds him for whatever, barely, nothing. Can't even move him on Shabbos. He's like a stone. There's no problem halachically bichlal. So again, what's your problem? So let's do the milah on Shabbos. That's a question. Omar Mar Breder Ravina, comes Mar, the son of Ravina, and he says as follows: Ano, the Rav Nechumi bar Zcharia, me and Rav Nechumi bar Zcharia, Tergimna, we explained that statement of the 7/8 month baby. We explained it as follows. We explained like this. Yeah, Mim hal hachinami malinanle. Oh, yes, we do. You're right. We do perform the bris milah on Shabbos to a baby which is maybe 7, maybe 8, because of the reasons we said. If it's a 7th month old, Mazel Tov, great, terrific, mitzvah, milah doche Shabbos. Maybe lo aleinu, he's really actually halachically dead. Good. If he's halachically dead, then it's the milah, that the drawing blood is not called drawing blood. Yeah? It's kilu spritz blood out of a dead person. That's not called killing. He's killed already. So what does it mean when the Brisa said that you don't do the milah? You know what it means? That he didn't say we're not doing the bris milah. We said ein mechalin is a Shabbos. We're not talking about milah itself. We're talking about the preparations for milah. Aha. Lo nitzracha el mechshirei milah. Very good. Which means which means, if you remember that statement of you don't do Chilul Shabbos for the 7/8, 7 or 8, That was a drosha from the pasuk, or lo soy vadai veloy sofik, meaning since we have a sofik, maybe seventh, maybe eighth, yeah. Mitzad the actual bris milah, you do the bris milah. Why not? If the milah is good, it's good, and if it's nothing, then it's not even chil Shabbos. However, Rabbi Lezer, let's remind ourselves at the very beginning of the parak. Rabbi Lezer believes there's a lot more going on over here than milah itself. He believes that the chilul Shabbos includes what? All types of things. It includes creating the knife, even sometimes cutting the wood to make the fire to create the knife. All the machshirim, all the different preparations for the milah are also done on Shabbos, including carrying the knife by a yid, by a Jew, or shusarabim. That's what the Torah is telling me not to do to the suffix sheva, suffix shmoina. Oh, says the Torah when a primi is such a big suffix, he's for sure premature. That's very likely that he's too early in the eighth month, he's not going to live. Maybe he's very premature and will live. In such a suffix, the milah you do. But those extra actions before the milah, that you don't do on Shabbos. So for such a baby, you could do the bris milah if everything goes well. But if you forgot the knife and there's no goy to take it, then you're stuck. You can't bring the knife from Shut Tzorcha to Shut Rabim, vice versa, or create the knife or do any other Chilul Shabbos, because those extra actions, which usually we do according to Rabbi Lezer, those are the actions the Torah said not to do to the suffix 7 or 8. That's Pshat. La halacha l'maisa, of course, we don't follow Rabbi Lezer. Yeah? Bris Milah on Shabbos, everything has to be ready. Make sure the knife is there, everything is there before Shabbos begins. Omar Abaye, now Abaye comes and tells us ketanoi. What does ketanoi mean? Ketanoi means that something previously discussed by Amoraim really means that it's a real machlokes tanoim. In this case, the concept which we just now introduced by Ravada Barava apparently is a machlokes tanoim. What did Ravada Barava say? Let's remind ourselves. Ravada Barava said that if you cut, you create bris milah, or in fact any other cut, surgery or whatever, stam, any needed cut, let's say for that baby that is an 8-month-old, which is halachically dead, even if you draw blood out of him, whatever, a blood test or something, no problem. Why? Because since he's dead, drawing blood or cutting, even though blood physically comes out, it's as if blood came out of dead. You can't kill the dead. Killing a dead person, not chayvon. I checked online and I saw that you can draw blood out of dead people, whatever, up to a certain time after the ptira, but the blood is not as alive. Whatever, it's not, for tests and things like that, it's not as much. It's not the same thing. It's a dead person. However, Rabbi wants to say this itself is machlokes tanoim. Let's see now and compare the baby to an animal baby. And before we continue, I want to just remind everybody of what I'm sure we all know. I just want to remind ourselves. Everybody is aware of the fact that there are two different types of treif meat, treifos and nevelos. From the kosher types of animals, could be a cow or sheep, mutton, but lemaisa, beef, grass-fed beef. But lemaisa, there are two different problems. What's the difference with treif and nevela? Nevela means the animal itself was good and healthy. Nevela, it wasn't shechted properly, right? The shechita went wrong, or somebody shot it in the head, or he died. There's no shechita. What's nevela? What's treifa? Treifa is an animal which may have been shechted kosherly. The shechita was possibly very, very good. The beima itself was a treifa. A treifa is an animal that's so sick, it's really terminally ill, and it's going to die within a year, right? Such an animal treifa we're not supposed to eat. Okay? Gewaldig. Now, let me ask you a question. If somebody shechts a terefa animal, does that help? Kosher mahadran shchita b'dat the charedis plus Rav Rubin plus whatever, whichever hechsher there is, and what? And you shecht it. But the baby is treif. Does that make a difference to the animal? The answer is yes. What is that? Regarding Tuma Vitara. Which means, although of course you can't eat the animal because it's treif, it has 10 holes in the lung. It was a heavy smoker. You have the animal, right? And what happens next? Although the animal, you can't eat it, the shchita is metaharosa, meaning, if a behema is nevela is metame, not only tom, it's oviatuma, it's avatuma, nevela. If the behema is not a nevela, maybe treif. Maybe it's missing a leg, lo leinu. Maybe it's missing a lung and half the brain is eaten. but because it's shechted, the shechita makes it be considered as non-tomeh. Yeah, now it's tohar meat. Okay. Having said that, let's learn the following drasha. If an animal behema which you're meant to eat, generally speaking, is going to die, and now the shchita, this pasuk comes to mina behema to tell us that some animals the shchita does not help them. Who are those? Lahavi ben shmoina she'en shchitosem etarosei. Says Tanakama, ben shmoina means a baby cow. A cow has 9 months pregnancy like human being. Yes, 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 yes. A cow is 9 months pregnancy. Now it was born in the 8th month. Same problem as human beings. If the baby cow, the calf, is premature from the 8th month pregnancy, it's not going to live. Now comes a good question. If I shecht that baby cow, that's really halachically considered as dead, right? And I shecht it with all the chumras and hidur, my God, the best, vedat the charedis shoichet, plus Rav Rubin, plus Rav Machpud. And what? And he's shechting it. That shchita says Tanakam ein mitar. It's not tahor, meaning it's still called an avela. The shchita is not a shchita. And when eventually it's going to really die, it's going to be a regular nevela. I shechted it exactly with all the chalif knife and everything. Shkoich doesn't help. The shchita doesn't help. And we can understand why, because it's considered as dead. You can't shecht a dead animal, right? That's the what's going on here. And that works very well with who? With Ravada Barava. Mila by a baby is like shchita by the animal, right? If it's dead, then it's just not effective what you're doing. Rabbi Yosef bar Yehuda comes a second opinion that argues. Rabbi Yosef bar Yehuda, Rabbi Elazar bar Shimon are אומרים, shchitosoi metarosoi. The shchita is metaher. Oh, the shchita is good. What do you mean good? Of course you can't eat it, but lemaisa the shchita is metarosoi. About eating we'll discuss later. There will be another discussion. But the shchita is metaher, yes. Although it's considered a dead baby, are we sure about that? In other, that baby cow, if you shecht it, great. The shchita is effective. It's a good shchita, and therefore now it's tahor. It's not an avela. My love must be what behaka miflagi. This is what they're arguing about. The malsava chayu, malsava mesu. Very very simple machloikis. What Ravada Barava says is apparently a machloikis. According to Tanakama, Ravada Barava is right. Dead babies or dead animals that look very alive and kicking and screaming, but they're 8 months old from pregnancy, they're really halachically dead. So any cutting you do, be it mila shchita or my grandma, I don't know, whatever that is, doesn't make a difference to them. You can't kill or mal or injure or kill or shecht a dead thing. So therefore, the shchita is not effective. Excuse me, that was Tanakama, he believes it's a mace. Mashenkin, they say the shchita is a good shchita, they believe it's alive, meaning, although it's very likely to die in future, the future looks very bleak for that animal, for that baby. Lamaisa, right now it's alive. And if I shecht, it's alive physically speaking, it's moving around and it's uhu and that. Lamaisa, if I shecht it, it's called good shchita, and therefore it's not going to be metame. The shchita is metaros, so these are the other tanoim. So Rav Ada said, apparently it seems to be machlokes tanoim. So says Abaye. Omar Rava is now commenting, replying to Abaye. Rava wants to disagree with Abaye. Yochi, if so, Adam ifligil inyan tuma v'tahara, lifligil inyan achila. I mentioned it before. Wait a second. If they have such a blanket all over the place machloikis, such a crucial, extreme machloikis, if the baby animal that's 8 months old is dead or alive, is shchita good or not good? Why do you have to go around the bush and talk about tuma v'tahara? Steak. I want to have steak tonight. Yeah, meaning what? Speak about achila, normal shchita. What's the first thing that comes to mind about shchita? Can I eat it or not? Right? Can I sell it or not? Yeah. So why are they beating around the bush talking about tuma v'tara? They should be speaking about achila. Those who believe that the shchita is a good shchita should go all the way and say we believe it's a good shchita, even though it's like you call it a dead baby. It's not a dead baby. It's a baby will die. Right now the baby is alive, the baby cow, and right now shchita is a good shchita. Let's eat it and make shackle and sink our teeth into the meat. Why don't they say that? Why don't they go all the way? Ella must be, Rav is telling Abaye, you got the machlokes all wrong. The kul alma mesu. Really, everybody believes that really this animal that was born out of the mother, the 8th month, is really halachically dead. And therefore, everybody agrees to Ravada Barava. Ooh, Ravada, make Ravada Barava great again with a hat. Yeah, just like Ravada Barava originally said that baby which was born in the 8th month is for sure dead, and the Mila is just physically not Mila. So too the animal which was born that early is a dead animal. So if you shecht it, shkoyach, you're not doing anything for the achila. You can't kosherize it by shchita because it's considered as dead. Aye. So why did it say regarding Tumah V'Tara it does help? Oh, that begs the question. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Lozo, Rabbi Shimon. Yeah. Why do they say that regarding Tumah V'Tara you did purify it, you made it tahor? Savri ketreifa. They say very simple svara. You are connecting achila to what? To Tumah V'Tara? Wrong. Look at treifa. Treifa, a regular behemoth that's treifa. And a cow which is, I don't know, 5 years old, 5 years old, yeah? It has holes in the lungs and in the stomach, heavy smoker, just missing a leg, yeah? So treifa, of course you can't eat it, right? You can't eat treifa. Lab afal gav de meisahi, shchitosa matarosa, which means a treifa, why can't you eat treifa? Because it's not going to live for 12 months. It's considered as kilo kind of dead already, mesa. Yet the shchita for tahara, because of the chidush of pasuk, for tuma v'tahara, shchita is good enough to make you tahar. Ochonami, same thing, but the 8th month baby. Ochonami, the premature baby, loishno, very good. In other words, that premature baby, of course, you cannot eat it if you shecht it because it's considered to be really dead now. But for Tumah V'Tara, there's a special din. Just like Patreifa, it's okay to shecht to make it tahor, so to hear the shchita makes it tahor. Okay? Achnami loishno. Okay? The Rabbanon. What would Rabbanon say? Rabbanon, they are now in the defense. Because Rabbanon, the Choiro, why did they differentiate? Meaning, Rabbanon argue with the Tutanoim, the Tanakama. What would they answer? The Choiro, it's a good tainer. You see the treifa, although the treifa is considered as dead and never ever edible halachically, yet when it comes to tahara, it's a special zach. Yes, specialidin by shchita for tahara, you make it tahor. So why don't you say the same thing by 8 months old? Why don't you say about premature baby the same thing, right? Say the same, 8 months old. That also it's dead, but for treifa, but for tahara, why isn't the shchita making it tahor? Says Tanakama loidami treifa. It's not the same. Why? Treifa, there's an intrinsic, essential difference between treifa and the premature baby, lomdus. Treifa hoisalosh asa koisher. Hi lohoisalosh asa koisher, which means treifa had its good golden days. Treifa had sh'asa koisher, sh'asa koisher means an opportunity, had a time frame in its life when it was amazing and good, and the shechita would help it, which means every treifa, not every, no, most treifas, right, are born good. You know, every human being is born good, and only afterwards things go wrong sometimes. Most animals are born okay. In the first years of its life, before it started having holes in the lungs, before it had cancer, before it had, I don't know, high blood pressure, before it had whatever, all these things, right? It was good. So treifa has more shaykhs to kashrus, to tahara. Later, the tarfus came in. Therefore, we say when you shecht it, it's in the parsha of a kosher animal because it had its good days. Mimela, now that you shecht it, at least for tahara, it should be good. The shechita should be effective. But the one from the tummy, the one who's premature, was born too early. Was born dead. It's stillborn. Maybe it's walking around and wobbling and doing, but no. Be'etzim, he never had the opportunity, never had the time which was kosher, right? That's pshat. Because he didn't have shatza kosher, mimela, the shchita doesn't help it bichlal. It's so mufka, so removed, so remote from shchita, and the shchita won't help it, even for what? Even for tahara. The chitei matrefa mibet and Michael Meimar. One more knetch to deal with is, most animals are born healthy. What about treifa mibeten? Some babies are born with cancer. You know that lo aleinu chas v'sholom. Treifa mibeten, Michael Meimar. Maybe if there's an animal which was born treif, it was born with holes in the lung, born without a leg, born with very small chances of survival. What would you say then? Their shchita does help it, even though never had shasa koisher. Zog the Gemara, hosom yesh bemina shchita, hochen bemina shchita. We don't look at every animal separately. We look at the type. We look at the genre. We look at the general kind of. We look to generalize, which means most behemoths that are born in the ninth month, the normal ones, yesh b'mina shchita. There is a minority of animals that are born treif. Leave them alone. Most of those animals that are born in the ninth month, they're healthy, and the shechita applies to them, and you can eat them afterwards. Enjoy. Yeah, good. Betavon. You have if the type is good. So even though although there's the one who's born treif, nicht gefährlich. It rides on the bandwagon, and him too can be okay with shechita for tahara. One born in the 8th month, none of them are going to survive. Maybe very few. But the general picture is over 90% are not going to live from those animals that are 8 months old, 8 months pregnancy, and therefore that type is not survivable. Mimela never got a chance to live, never got a chance to be a good behemoth with shchita. Therefore, the shchita there does not help it at all. It's not going to help it whatsoever. It's not going to help it b'chalal, not even for tahara. So let's summarize. Let's not get confused. Let's summarize. So again, the Yesod of Ravada Barava survived very nicely. Let's go back to Milah. Let's leave the cow for a minute and go to the Milah. If the Milah was performed on a baby that is 8 months old, meaning 8 month pregnancy old, yeah, such a baby has no chances of survival. It's considered as dead now. And therefore, the Milah you do is just nothing. It's just not a mitzvah, right? You're not cutting into a live flesh. It may look like it, feels like it, but it's not. It's just a smoke screen. Really, this animal is dead. Not animal, excuse me, the baby. The baby is dead. If the baby is dead, you end it because halachically it's dead. And therefore, you're not even considered as drawing blood. You're not shechting by drawing out the blood. There's no shechita because he's dead. You can't kill, a dead person. You can't injure a dead person, right? Not mitzvah drawing blood, right? Ochen b'mina shechita, right? It says, by the way, if a son, I'm not sure it's connected, but just comes to my mind that we had last week's parsha, Mekala lo vivimoy, Make lo vivimoy, right? So you see, Make after Misa is not halacha. It's not Chayav Misa, right? A person who hits his parents after they're dead. He's so angry with the father, after the father is dead, finally he chaps the time to, chas v'shalom, chalila, to make a cut in the dead father's body. He's not Chayav Misa. In Klali, no, he's not. It's also, it's not nice, but it's not chiyuv. Well, one second. Comes to the baby animal and a chinami. There you have a different machloikis. Everyone agrees that the dead animal, meaning the one born in the 8th month, is considered to be what? Take dead. We all agree to Ravada Barava. Therefore, shchita will not help it for eating. No, you can't shech the 8-month-old, the premature of the 8th month, and then enjoy a nice steak, even though it looks very nice and healthy and good. Halacha says no. But everyone agrees to Ravada Barava. There's just a side machlokes about tahara. Yeah, will the shchita make it tahar or not? Mitzad not having too much nevela. That's a machlokes. Do we compare 8 months to treifa or don't we? That's a side point. Yes. Okay. What's your question? Question time. Weiter. Boilu. Here comes the Gemara with a question. Mi pligi rabbanon alei Rabban Shimon Gamliel oloi. Meaning, what did Rabban Shimon Gamliel say originally? He was the one who said that a regular baby born in the 9th month, we highly assume, we're not sure, we didn't count the days and counted the tashmish of the mother, probably 9th month, but maybe 8 months, says Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, until, as long as he didn't have 30 healthy days passing by, 30 days is considered as a suffix. Holding our breath. Do Rabbanan argue on Rabbi Shimon Gamliel or not? That's the question. Meaning, maybe they believe, no. Maybe they believe that every baby really is assumed to be alive. Straight away, no problem. And if we say the Chachamim argue with him, halacha k'moisai or an halacha k'moisai, is halacha l'kirsh bag or not? That it's a suffix at the beginning, or do we pass on the Chachamim that right from the start it's good. Toshma, listen to this brisa. Egel shenolad b'yom tov, shochinose b'yom tov. It says that an egel born on Yom Tov, an egel, yeah, a calf was born on Yom Tov, which would have been maybe a question of muktzah. Nah, no question of muktzah. Why? Because what happened Ben Moshes? He was in the mother womb, right? He was born on Yom Tov. Yeah, Shavuos morning was born. Yeah, after the Mishmar. So what? So what? Where was it Ben Moshes? Part of the mother. It's not muktzah because you're allowed to shech the mother herself, and he would be included in the shechita. Very nice. But forget about muktzah a second. You're really telling me that that baby born on Yom Tov, I can shech on the very first day. How can you do that? According to Rashbag, you can't. Why? Because you don't have 8 days passing. How can you shech the baby, which is really dead, right? You're shechting dead meat, treif and nevela and everything together. Mas bits rabbanon. So you see, rabbanon do argue. Dog the Gemara, no. The kimle begavesh kol chodoshav. That's the first baby I spoke about. That baby, we know for sure, 100%, that this cow baby 9 months have passed. We know that that cow did not have relations with the ox. This cow for 9 months was, we know for sure. The veterinarian or the farmer followed closely. She is 9 months pregnant. If so, even Rashbag would agree. So I understand at least. If Kol Chadosha for sure, there's no suffix, and therefore Avada you can shecht it straight away. Toshma, another similar brisa. Vishovin, everyone agrees. Rab Shimon and Rab Yehuda agree. Shim noilad hu v'mumay imoy shezeh min hamuchan. Yeah, which means everyone agrees. Even Rab Shimon that believes that you can't see mumim on Yom Tov, which means what's a mum? Let's say a baby animal is a bchor. If a bchor has mum, then the kohen can eat the entire bchor. It's a very good thing for a kohen, yeah, to eat the bchor with mumim. He gets to eat the whole thing. Now on Yom Tov, you can't take an animal which says yes, no, maybe so, and start examining and then pass it to the kohen. Yes, Mr. Cohen, it's a mum. It's halachically considered mum. You can eat it. Ain't poiskin b'yom tov. It's like yeah, you're creating a new thing. You're not allowed to paskin halacha. That something is considered as mum or not. It's considered as, I'm not sure if it's not moilid. It's what? It's metaken. Thank you. It's like a tikkun for the animal. Thank you very much, Akiva. Yeah. So, however, if it was born with the mum, and the Gemara says the Beis Din of 3 Dayanim were there at the birth. So there was no suffix that we're now metaken a new thing. From the second of birth, they watched it coming out to the mum. So it was born straight to the mum, you can eat it. Because we're not making a new psak, a new creation. And therefore it's called muchan, it's not muktzeh. Thank you very much. How can you eat an animal that's born on the first day? Eat it on the first day. That's against Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Achinami shekol alochodoshav. No. And achinami could be that it doesn't mean anyone's arguing. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel could work very well with that. That baby we know has been through 9 months for sure, and therefore we know there were 9 months. No question that it is considered to be as a baby which will live and is healthy. The only question of Rashbag was when we're not sure. Toshma quickly. However, since we say halacha is like Reb Shimon Gamliel, that is to say, if they say halacha is like Rashbag, sounds like Chachamim do argue on him, and they think you can shecht it on the first day, even if you don't know 100% it's 9 months. Yeah, it's a regular baby, which is probably not for sure. The Chachamim would say, yes, you can shecht him, unlike Reb Shimon Gamliel, yet halacha is like Reb Shimon Gamliel. Thank you very much. Atzlocha Brocha. Thank you to everybody who came here. Thank you to everybody who watches us on Torah anytime. Atzlocha Brocha and on YouTube. Atzlocha to you all. Thank you to our Zoom participants from America.